Okay, let's go through my trades from the day, do my daily report card. Holo is what I was most active on. So you can see, look at this breaking down right now. All the notes that I've had and how much I've traded it in here. So I made this big move up, 35, 40%. Then went sideways around this anchor VWAP on the 1 minute chart. And you can see it on a 2 minute chart. It was well under that. But on a daily, this one, I mean, this is really just in a straight downtrend. So very choppy, had multiple squeezes on the 1 minute or long squeeze, just sideways action. But this, because the ADR on this in the daily is 64, which is insane. And if you get in here, you can get, if you get good entries, you can kind of do a little bit of range bound trading. But really I was looking for, thinking like, okay, maybe we're going to break out higher than, or break. It just wouldn't really follow through on either direction. So it was a little bit frustrating, but I ended up making money on it overall, keeping size relatively smaller. Let's see, RGLS. Yeah, just kind of chopped up at that one. See, that was the play. RGLS was really the play, and I got a little bit distracted with Holo. Because if you look at this on a daily chart, let's look at the daily. You have a nice daily squeeze breakout, also the weekly, hourly. So multiple alignment across multiple time frames. You have some revenue growth. The float was just a little bit bigger than I would have liked to have seen. But yeah, that broke out. Let's see. So I think I traded this. I don't know what I did here. But yeah, you had so much opportunity on this one today. I mean, it ran up and then it pulled back about almost 40%. And then from the lows, it was up. Not that you're going to buy the bottom tick, but it's pretty much a double. You know, now, just right now, it's trying to break out again. But that definitely was the stock in play. PAC, I tried that a couple times, shorting it. I think I did have a win on that. Opera, I don't know what I mean, I just thinking like I would basically trade it off of a 1 minute chart. Kept the loss small. I mean, that's the key thing. That was probably a trade that it didn't need to do. SMCI, just a couple small trades in there. Let's see, SONUN, Soundhound. So I got in here, stopped out, and that was it. And then it went higher. MSTR, had that on a short for a loss there, and then short again here for a gain of $138, but I definitely gave back a bit on that. I was looking for lower prices, so I was giving it room, using it. I like to use trailing stops as much as possible. And I have the ADR down here based on the time frame. So right now we're on a 1 minute time frame. The ADR is 0.6. If you go to a 5 minute, ADR is 1%, just 1.03. Look at the selling on that. So it's broke down from this 5 minute squeeze. You could have got it up here as it broke the first red candle, but as it broke these lows here. Or even, you know, if you look at it, you have kind of an inside bar here with the 10 below the 20, right? So you could take it as a break below this low, and then just really you could still be in that trade. So that was a nice setup. Wasn't looking at that one at that time. I was actually winding down my day at that point. Crowd, I took that for a small little loss there. Now Holo, now it's breaking down more. Right, so I mean, the play there is really I could have left a piece on because my last trade that I had on this, I did have a nice gain where I shorted it more with size. So I took a gain here of $411, and then here of $458. So I could have maybe left even a half of this one on, just knowing that this is probably going to go back down towards the lows of the day. And here it is, the 2 minute squeeze. It has a 5 minute squeeze, breaking down with volume. And under this anchored VWAP here from the high of day, RGLS. Look at that one. See if there's anything in here that's new. CLRO, I don't remember trading that one. But I did, and yeah, I made some money on it. Look at that one again in a second. Yeah, pulling back on lighter volume. Let's look at the daily. Smaller float. You gotta look at this monthly. Yeah, pretty choppy in there. Maybe setting up for a short. NVIDIA. Let's see, I took that short here. And that was my profit, 251. And so I could, some of these I could sell on strength and probably squeeze out some more dollars. But yeah, man, that was such a good setup, this holo. It's 12:41. Typically don't like to trade at lunch. But on a 2 minute, let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah, right there it is. You could buy a break of this low. You could have waited till right here, break of this area, if you're trading off a 5 minute chart. But let's look at the 5 minute. Looks like I'm stopped out of something there. 5 minute ADR is 5.56%. So every 5 minutes it's moving over 5%. Pack, that was a decent gain, holo. And that's it. So realized gain about $1,200. I have the one position I have is I entered kind of entry there. NVDL. GPS gap. So that is a nice daily breakout, nice runner. Weekly, daily. Look at the volume on this one here. So coming into the week on Sunday, I was ready to trade that. Could have got a better entry on it, I guess, but daily breakout. Yeah. So that one, I probably should, if it comes back into this box, then yeah, I'll be out of it. I'm trying to let it run. It's tempting to, I was up over 6% at one point. It was tempting to take the profit on it. Now this one, let's see, why isn't this stop? This should have a stop loss attached to it. I don't know what happened there. But the idea on this one was to take it as it broke below this anchor VWAP from the high and then have a tight stop on it. So I'll update that. I mean, you got some volume coming in there. Let's see the daily. So you broke above, you came down, you tested the 10, simple moving average. Then you broke above yesterday's high. So I definitely would want to see that close below if I'm going to stay in this position. I definitely would have to close below there for me to get into it or hold it overnight. And QBTS picked up as well. Let's see my bull combo. Scan, let's look at that. Yeah, there's a lot out there that could be setting up. I mean, NVDL had this hourly squeeze, a break. I'm short that though right now. ALT, I mean, the question is the market extended? Does it going to need to pause for a little while, pull back? Just overall situational awareness. For me, any swings that I'm doing, with the exception of gap, I thought that was a good setup. I mean, keeping size relatively smaller. Try not to trade too much. And there's Celsius. It's not looking too bad. ANF. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot to do out there. No point in over trading. These are some of the ones that I flagged today. RGLS, CLR, I was trading those. You had this SGLY, which it was a runner this morning. It was running here, but it was just so choppy. I didn't really see a good spot to get into it. And Rumble, there's talk about them potentially, if TikTok is forced to sell, that they would want to buy it. It's a decent setup. I don't know. Just not feeling it. So didn't take it, but I'll keep an eye on it. And Opera, look at this hourly squeeze. It's in this, just basically going sideways here. You probably want to see it hold above that line. I could also still see this chopping around and breaking and going lower. So I don't know. It's not out of the woods yet. Just didn't get the, one up, and now it's just resting, consolidating more. QBTS, kind of the same deal. You have some of these stocks that maybe they have a nice setup on the daily pullback to a moving average, or they're going sideways, the hourly squeeze. Are they going to continue? I don't know. I think that's all for the day. Today, yep, so this NVDL. Look at the 1 minute. So you have a 1 minute, you have this selling here, it broke down from that squeeze. You're below this anchor VWAP, and 15 minute, it's fading. 5 minute, also at volume, also that the squeeze, so now it's got negative momentum. Could have find support at the 50. Very well could, but right now there's nothing there that would lead you to believe that it will at the moment. So you'd want to see this start to slow down, and it could come right back with volume, or with or without volume. But that's where, if you have a good entry, you can keep, you can do low risk tight stops. And that's the name of the game. So the majority of the game is just not doing anything stupid.